Hello friends, welcome back to Happy Paper People. Thank you for being a loyal follower. If you've been here a while, I really do appreciate you. And if you're a new follower, welcome. We are so excited to have you here. And please join us on Happy Paper People Facebook group. We love to see your makes and inspire and be inspired by each other. Today I just wanted to make a really quick video to show you about the collage fodder. I've been going nuts on it. This is just a little selection of, I'm just having so much fun doing it. It is so easy for someone who is not a drawing artist, and I am not. It is so easy to do, very simple to do, and I just wanted to share with you. There are other people who are doing it, and that's where I learned. I can't say anybody specifically because I watched multiple videos and then just jumped in and tried it, and then had lots of thoughts about how to expand it. So this is collage fodder from magazine pages, from book pages. I'll show you just a couple of the pieces and different styles. There's leaves. Lots of things you can do with the leaves. Other types of flowers. I loved this red page, so I thought I gotta just make some little red mushrooms on that red page. It worked out perfectly. All different kinds of foliage. So at the end of this video, I'm gonna recommend that you check out the next short video, which is how to elevate your fodder. I really want this to be short, so I'm not going to take time to do that today, but I'm going to record a separate video for it. You can make this out of magazine pages, out of book pages. There's some of both in there. You can make it out of map pages. There's a couple from maps. How cool would this page be out of mushrooms with those color variations in there? Wouldn't that be awesome? You can make it out of gel prints or offcuts from your gel prints. You can make them out of book page or music page. You could glue several pages together if you wanted it a little thicker than what your page happens to be. You can use watercolor paper. This has turned out to be one of my absolute favorites. You can just take a piece of watercolor paper and just take however many colors you want. You can mix them, mix and match. Just put some paint on your brush and just put a little bit of paint here and there, and then plenty of water to let them just all run together. And you don't have to create anything specific, just plop the paint on the paper. This is some granulating watercolor that I just got in yesterday and I was playing with last night. I'm excited to cut some things out of that. Just do a variation of colors. This one's just gold and silver. So easy to then take this and make things out of it. I'll probably do one of those to show you today. But what you get from the watercolor paper is just exceptional. Really love the fodder that I got from the watercolor paper. Now some of these you can see look like they have something else on them, and they do, and that is part of how to elevate your fodder. So watch the next video to catch that. But I love this, just all the colors. Okay, so while I was doing these dots and dashes, I accidentally pushed my Posca pen down, and so it leaked ink right here. I'm not going to toss it because I will use it somewhere where I put something else over it right there and only see part of that flower, just because I have a big black splotch, because I love the coloring on that one. Very, very pretty. And some cute, teeny, tiny mushrooms. I loved the paper, and so I didn't want to waste any part of it. And on this one, I had actually drawn the thing and then did watercolor over it, and it bled, and so I just let it bleed. And then I went back over it with the black and then the white, and it's actually a really cool look. So don't think because it bled or you drew it crooked or whatever that it's a waste, because the funny thing is, by the time you finish it, it comes out, majority of the time, comes out looking amazing. And there are some ways to fix some of the things that you think are ruined. You can also use black paper with metallic markers or pens. This is just some scraps of black paper I had from something I was making. Didn't want to waste it. It's good quality paper, so I grabbed a gold gel pen and just drew a bunch of mushrooms there. So let me set these aside for a moment. What do you want to use when you make them? Almost anything that will write that's going to be bold. So basically, you could start out with a Sharpie. This is not the thick one, but it's like a bullet point. That's the perfect one. I kind of prefer that size to this fine point because it doesn't give you much of an outline. And I really like the outline. The other thing I really like is when you cut it out outside of your black drawing. I love the extra color around it. It really makes it look like a hand-drawn piece of art. Any other marker from any other brand will work. Black Posca pen or paint marker works really well. I use a white as well, so black and white together. Gel pens, I use a black and a white gel pen, gold gel pen, or any other color. These are metallic markers, and they work great. Let's see, is there a metallic in here? Nope, must have set that aside. And just, you know, a micron. I would have to go over it several times and make it a little bit thicker because I want a little bit thicker line than that is. So any magazine will work, any magazine that has color, or even if it's white with print on it, because the print looks cool as well. So food pages work really well. Remember, you're not going to see the food, you're going to see the color. As you make a flower, you're going to see the color in the petals or whatever else you make, a mushroom, whatever it is. So you can choose exactly where you're drawing it, and you can decide what colors you want to be in it. So love this border here. That's really cool looking. So to have some of that border in with some of this would be really neat. This one, I grabbed this one because it looks so cool, like a vintage wallpaper type thing. And then I tried a couple of new flowers and mushrooms for the first time. Wasn't really crazy about them, so I just left it, set it aside. Then I worked with them more and kind of figured out how I could fix it if I don't really like the shape. And so I left them. I'm glad I did, because now I can go back and kind of work with them and cut those out. But maybe we'll draw in there. Any magazine will work, including the ones that you get in the mail. Some of them don't have as much. Like I would do this blue up here will look amazing. The red, white, and blue on here will look amazing. So some of them may not have, look at this, the colors right here. They may not have as many pages to work with, but any will work. Love this. Love the colors down here, the red and blue with hints of gold and black. So it really honestly doesn't matter. Any magazine will work. Any magazine, any book, any music page, any map, any gel print, all of those things work. Any scrap of paper. If you have scrapbook paper that you have offcuts, or you've cut things out and you've got scraps around, like this black, you can use that leftover scrapbook paper without having to just throw it away. Okay, so I'm going to give you just the basics on how we do it. Two light colors here so that you'll be able to see real easily. I'm not going to sit and cut them out and go into all that, because you can see when they're cut out. I'm cutting outside the black because I like that color outside. Really gives it that hand-drawn artist look. And so I think that you can cut them out. But the next video will be how to elevate your collage fodder. And then the following video after that you'll want to watch is how to use your collage fodder. And then you can look for the one that has a multitude of drawings. So if you're like, okay, I've got 3 flowers down and I'm sick and tired of drawing 3 flowers, I would like some other things to draw. That one's going to have 20 or 30 different items laid out for you specifically on how to draw them. So let's just go right to it. So this is just watercolor paper that I put down some watercolor paint on. It has dried overnight, so I know it's nice and dry. You don't have to wait that long. Just make sure that it is nice and dry. So let's start with like a basic flower. Basic flower, you can, I'm going to look at where I want it. I want different colors in it, different variations. I love that. So I'm going to start with one kind of rounded petal there. Okay. And from that, Then I'm going to make a center. And then all I'm going to do is keep going around it with petals. And I'm going to put 5. If you end up with 6 or 4, or have very little space in it and it ends up having to go from this one to that one so it looks like it's behind it, it's really no big deal. I've got all of them. I've got some that have a great big space because I misjudged that, and then that one is like between. It looks like it's behind them. It doesn't matter. They all come out looking just cool. They just really, really do look awesome. So there's a basic flower. Now you can add the stem to it, or you can leave the stem off. When you use it, you can draw the stem, or you can do stems separate. Maybe you want to do those on a green or fall colored, some sort magazine page, or something else, something that you would have that green and some green leaves or something like that. So that's one. Another super basic one that a lot of people do is just 4 petals, and you just go 1, 2, 3, 4 and give it a little center. And the more wonky it is, the cuter it is, honestly. Please do not think, I don't know how to draw and I'm not getting these very good. They're not even, they're not all the same size, they're not the same width. Flowers aren't like that. Most flowers are not absolutely perfect. That is nature. And that's why they look so much more natural when you just let it be, wonky. Wind blows and a petal will get blown off and a flower will be this way or that way. It's just let it go. Let it go. Here's another one. We'll do that one. This is just an elongated oval. I'm going to start on this side so I don't run out of space over here. Just an elongated oval, and then I'll go ahead and make a center. I'll just leave it like that. I may color it in later. I don't know. And this one, they're thinner, so I'm probably going to end up with more petals on there. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to go opposite side. Looks like a propeller, and got room for at least 2 there. So I'm going to go 1, 2. There we go. And then 2 on the other side. They're not all the same length. They're not all the same width. They're a little bit wonky. It's okay. They're going to turn out just fine by the time you cut them out. And you can go around them in white. You can add the embellishments inside. What do you do? What do you do for the embellishments? And you could do those with the same marker. You might choose to go to something that's a little bit thinner. When you go to do that, there are lots of things you can do, lots of different types of marks you can make. Any mark making works. Here is circles, there is lines and dashes. Boy, where are all the ones that have the mark making? And you can do it in black or in white. I look at this and I would say white is probably not going to show up very well. So I'm going to do it in black. And I think I'll start down here and just give them some of these lines on the petals. Okay, and then maybe I want something out here on the end, and maybe just a tiny little swirl on each one. You literally doodling. That's all it is. You can doodle on it any way you want. You can fill it with doodles, or you can not. You could put lines on them. You could do like this and put lines across it, and do that on all of them. Super easy. Doesn't take any great talent to do that. But when you're done and it's cut out, then it looks really cool and it works when you go to use it. I will tell you that when you draw them on paper, you're going to look at every single one you do and you're going to go, oh my gosh, that's awful. They don't look so great just down on the paper when you draw them, and they're all wonky. And then you cut them out and you're, oh, that is so cute. Look at that adorable little mushroom. They just work. They just look great. It doesn't matter. See how the petals are not the same length? They're not the same width, but how cute is it? It really works. It just does. This would be like this one, but they're a little bit fatter. It's a smaller flower. These two are a little bit longer. It doesn't matter. Mushrooms are super easy. There are lots of different shapes of them, but here's a real easy one to learn right up front. Think of the top as a triangle. If you think of everything that you draw in terms of a shape, mushroom is a triangle with a rectangle on the bottom. So I watched somebody do it, and I have not had any training in drawing, and so I just need to do it the easy way. So I see a triangle, and then I know I want to make the corners a little bit rounded. So that's what I have in mind for my triangle. So I'm going to start down here, and I'm going to go like this. Okay, and then I've got a rectangle, but I know mushroom always has kind of this little bulb thing, or large enlargement on the base. So I'm going to do this. There you go. There's your mushroom. And it works. Every time it works. And then you can put some dots on it wherever you want. I have no idea how to judge where to put them. Just put them wherever it feels right to you until you've got as many as you think is a good amount. There you go. And there's a cool mushroom. And I'll show you how to elevate those in the next video. Okay, so I'm not going to take time to cut them out because you'll see them cut. You see them cut here, so you can see how to do that. Let me show you this flower right here because this is a really fun one. And it looks complicated and difficult, and it is super, super easy. I've got a whole stack of those because it's just so much fun. Okay, so we're going to start with the center on this one, and we're going to just do a round center. It's kind of elongated, kind of oval. In the end, sometimes I end up putting a big round, because you know how sometimes, daisies, maybe they're wild daisies, the center is like a big hump, and then the leaves go, the petals go down. Okay, and then you're just going to come down from the center, go straight down, and make one big fat leaf, petal. I keep calling them leaves. And then we're going to come off of that one so it's like it's behind it for a second, and come off of that one so it's like it's behind that one for a third. And each petal got just a little bit shorter as we went. So go over to this side and just come off this one a little bit shorter, come off that one so it's like it's behind it, and same thing, we'll come off this one. There it is. Okay, I look at that and I'm like, okay, that center looks funky, so I'm just going to make it a little bit bigger, like it's got one of those. And I'll go ahead and do the black, which I really like with the color of this paper, and then I might take some gold or some white gel pen and then just put dots in the center of that. That would look cool. So you could put a stem coming down on any of these, or just leave them as is, and you can draw the stem when you go to use them. So isn't that awesome? So easy to do, so easy to make. Collage fodder that you can use for so many different purposes. So give it a try, and then check out the next video on how to elevate your collage fodder, and the next video on how to use your collage video, and the next one on a whole list of things that you can draw that goes beyond flowers and mushrooms. Thanks for joining me. Hope to see you again soon. And please come to Happy Paper People Facebook group and post your pictures of the fodder that you make. We love to see those. Leave me a comment. Let me know something that you do different, or anything that you found out as you are making these. So see you again, friends. Bye-bye.